Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple 1. Marauders, looters, rioters will kill you very quick in SHTF or a RAW or an EMP event. But there's something that will kill you just as quick that we don't address enough, and I don't address enough. And I sort of give people false hope because I talk about water. Where are you going to get your water? Well, I got a creek, I got a lake, I got a stream, and those places are great. But if you live in a suburban area, and I'm putting myself in a place where I used to live, and there was a couple of lakes, and there was a subdivision around them, and that water wasn't as fresh. I mean, it must have been fed by some springs, but it wasn't a huge amount of water coming in to those. So, you know, in the summertime, it got a little bit stagnant looking. But for the area, in that suburban area, that was the only water around, literally. But then I got to thinking, all those people's around there in a grid down event, there's going to be so many people that are not following proper sanitation, not following where they're going to put their human waste, the garbage. So I believe, and I'm stressing to you, this is so important, that you need to get your water plan finalized, knocked down. You might be relying on the community little lake or pond in the area. That's going to get contaminated really quick. People are lazy. People are not going to take care of their pee and their poo. Bottom line, it's going to get into that water system and it's going to be deadly. Not just make you sick, it's going to be able to kill you. So, you need to get a water plan that doesn't revolve around a creek or stream, something like that, unless you're way out in the country. I'm way out in the country. I have places that I can get water, springs that are on this property that I know are good because there's no other water getting into them. But if you're relying on a creek, you might say, well, I got a creek that comes by, and it also comes by 10 other subdivisions. Do you not think, and I haven't stressed it enough, I need to, there's somebody's going to contaminate that. It's going to get contaminated with human waste, with garbage. I talked to a friend of mine today, and I talked to him in the past. His wife is from the Appalachian Mountains, and she can remember when they came in and the government helped get people on septic systems because they were still using outhouses. And she's younger than me. So we're not that far away from very primitive conditions, outhouses. If you travel the world, a lot of places throw the human waste into the streets. That's where it goes. It's nasty, it's disgusting, you can smell it. So we're going to revert back because this is why. Right now we have the convenience of electricity, hot showers, all this convenience to make our life where we can stay clean and keep clean. When all that is stripped away, a gallon of potable water is going to be so valuable. So if you have a well and you have some way to get it out of there, be it a baler bucket, but then you're also talking, I showed you in that video, that baler bucket can you know, add germs. You can contaminate your well with your dirty hands. You can contaminate every time you drop that baler bucket into that well. You have a chance of getting seriously sick. If you had a hand pump on it, that'd be better. That way that well is still clean. So don't rely on that little stream running through your subdivision. The thing is going to get contaminated. So what do we have left? If you don't have a well and a good way to get it out without requiring electricity, rain catchment. Rain catchment. But still, rain catchment. You know, birds, animals can poop on your roof. That can get into your system, so you're still going to have to clean it. Either with a bleach solution, a pool shock solution, a good filter, and you're going to need lots of water. It's just not, oh yeah, I did 2 gallons today, because everything you put in your mouth, from brushing your teeth to all the cooking and cleaning of your bowls and spoons, you're going to need clean water. You're going to need hot water. You're going to need some type of soap to make sure we stay at a high level of sanitation. And I don't think we will. I think lack of potable water, lack of proper places to put your human waste, a lot of places that are on municipal sewer systems, those things are going to get backed up. Those things are not going to work. If you're on your own septic, much better, but eventually I know people's septic tanks break. They get backed up. That's why they have to call the poop truck. And the poop truck comes, finds your septic tank, sucks everything out, and asks for $300, $400, $500 to take that junk away. So if you have that problem, where are you going to go? You're going to have to do an outhouse. That outhouse is going to have flies come to it. Those flies are going to fly around. A lot of people will have their windows open. A lot of people might not have screens on them. Some people don't have screens on their windows because their houses are designed to never be opened up. They're climate controlled inside. So make sure you have screens, because when it's 95 degrees and you have no air conditioner, you're going to open your windows to try to get some relief. And if you have no screens on those windows, you're going to, all kinds of mosquitoes, all kinds of bugs are going to come in, flies, and it's going to be another vector for you to get sick. So personal hygiene is going to be very hard. People are not going to smell like we smell now. You know, it's not uncommon to take 2 showers a day for me. You get nasty, you just jump in that shower and get cleaned up. In a worst case event, we're not going to have that. We're going to have dirty hands all the time. I know I've gone to the field so many times for a 30-day training environment. And you never, ever, ever get a shower in those 30 days. It'd be very rare for them to bring us back. It would have to be just tons of rain and everyone was so muddy, and they might bring us back for a couple hours to refit, clean up, but seldom did we get that. So you need to think about your water plan all over. Just say, okay, this was my water plan. If you can walk it, walk that stream, walk that creek. If you got a pond, see what flows in that pond. And if it's going to be subdivision, it's going to be all kinds of stuff. People are going to be lazy. It's so much easier if you're pooping and peeing in a 5-gallon container. It's hard to go out there and dig. People are lazy. They might just see that creek right next to their house and take that 5-gallon bucket and, not my problem anymore, throw that waste into that creek. And it isn't their problem. It's the next guy's problem. But guess what? If you're doing it, there's probably somebody upstream doing the same thing. So I think there's going to be a lot of diseases. I think we need to educate ourselves on diseases that are caused from unhealthy conditions, because it's going to exist. And I think you could die just as quick from that, or quicker, than those marauders. So yeah, we need to be concerned about security, that's for sure, and our safety. But we need to get back to, I got a water plan, but you know what? 1 month into it, my water's probably going to be contaminated. So what's my backup water plan? It is probably going to evolve around some type of rain catchment for most people, unless you have a well with a hand pump. So start thinking, reevaluate your water plan today, and come up with a solution where that water is falling and there's no other human being that's going to have their hand into it or be able to influence the quality of that water. If you got a spring on your property, you live in the country, if that's perfect, because you can control that spring. But most people, 95% of people, they're not. So reevaluate your water plan immediately, because I guarantee we're not thinking enough about it being contaminated a month into SHTF. Thanks for watching.